Hi guys, and welcome back to Simply Forex, the channel dedicated to you, the trader. We want you to be successful in the markets. So guys, I'm going to give you some gold every day. I'm going to let you know which currency pairs I'm looking to trade and which direction. And I'm also going to let you know which news that you must be aware of. So let's take a look at the chart and what I'm potentially going to trade today. Welcome back, traders. How are you? It is Wednesday. It is the 13th of July. 13, unlucky for some. Not for us. We had another profitable day yesterday, guys. So again, I'll show you why we had a profitable day, but I hope you followed some of the trade ideas. So yeah, let's do that. Let's look back at yesterday's trades first of all. We'll look at today's potential trades, and we'll also look at the news. So yesterday, guys, Tuesday, we had 4 potential trades. And the first one was this. This was the Canadian dollar against the Swiss franc. And this is the pair where I've made my money, guys. Okay, so as always, guys, we need a reason why on the day chart we chose our direction. And we were looking to buy this pair. The reasons are this. So price was in a downtrend. Yeah, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And then we just had some sideways action, okay? But these last highs were this one here, this one here. They were eventually broken when this green bullish candle broke them. So once we have this green candle, we are then in an uptrend and we are looking for buys, yeah? Because we've got higher highs, okay? And then we had this candle and this candle, which still told me that buyers were in control, guys. So because of this, we were still trying to buy this pair, okay? And as you can see, guys, we had a red candle form yesterday, but still made profit on this pair because our first target is a risk to reward of 1:1 or the H1 high. Okay, but anyway, I digress. Let me show you on the H1 chart how we've made money on this pair. So we had a couple of bites of this cherry. So we had our grey zone mapped out at the start of the day, scratchy nose. And then as you can see, guys, we had this candle form. Let me draw my little pink line, pink square. Yeah, so we had this candle form, guys. And this is pinged off of our grey zone. Yeah, it tells me that buyers are in control, but the problem with this is we don't have much room to move into. Yeah, this is our last H1 high. So what I did, guys, I waited for a retrace on this pair. Okay, so I got in around here. I put my stop pretty much immediately below the candle. Okay, it's quite an aggressive stop, but it had to be aggressive so that my risk to reward made sense. Okay, so I was risking this, all right, and then this was my reward. Okay, excuse my lines. Like I say, it's very difficult to draw with a mouse. Okay, I need a little pen. But yes, so my risk to reward then made sense. Okay, so I closed 80% of this high. Okay, and then as you can see, price came down and took my stop out. Okay, so let me just make that clearer, guys. So I entered here, I put my stop just below here, and I got out at here. Okay, and as you can see, guys, that is a risk to reward of 1:1. Okay, but then I only closed 80%. So when this market came down, you can see this stop here was taken out. This candle and this candle took out my stop. Okay, but yeah, made a small profit on that trade. Okay, because yeah, I closed 80% of these highs. Okay, 20% was taken out. Made small profit. But then we had another candle that gave us an option to get into this trade. So then we had this candle, okay? It's not a green candle, I understand that, I have eyes, but the wick look at the wick. It's come all the way down to these lows here and just rejected it massively. Okay, almost a liquidity grab. Okay, so this wick, although it's on a red candle, I entered this on the close of this candle. I put my stop literally just below this candle as well, and I just got 1:1, guys. Okay, yeah, because it was coming towards the end of the trading day, I just wanted to get 1:1 out of this trade, and that's exactly what happened. So I got 1:1 here. I closed 80% of my trade, and I'm still in this trade for 20%. Okay, so yeah, a profitable day on this pair, guys. Yeah, for those reasons, we had 2 bites of the cherry, closed 2 lots of 80% of profit, and I'm still in this pair for 20%. To be honest with you, looking at the day chart, yeah, if price comes back up to this H1 high here, I'll probably close the remaining 20%. Yeah, because of that daily red candle now. Okay, but yeah, guys, let me know how you traded this. Maybe you got in on this candle or this candle. Let me know. Yeah, it was a good, profitable day with this pair, guys. Okay, next pair we looked at was this. This was the Aussie dollar against the US dollar. All right, and we were looking to short this pair for the following reasons. Yeah, so price was in a downtrend, lower lows, lower highs, sort of messed around at these lows, but then broke these lows. We have lower lows, lower highs, and then it still came down with this very bearish red candle, okay, which broke these lows. Okay, so on the back of this candle, we were just trying to take price a little bit further down to the psychological level of 600-700. Okay, let's look at H1 to see what actually happened. I didn't trade this pair, guys, just to let you know off the bat, because, okay, well, let me explain why. So, as you can see, we never really got an opportunity to enter this trade until it come up into our grey zone, okay? And then arguably we had this candle, okay? Yeah, this tells me sellers are in control. So had a lot of indecision, and then a full-bodied red candle, okay? So you could have entered here. Okay, put your stop above here, take price back down to here. You would have got at least 1:1 already. Okay. But for me, guys, I didn't trade this pair. Remember yesterday I said if H1 structure starts breaking, then I'm not interested in these pairs. And that's exactly what happened. So as you can see, the H1 structure, yeah, it came down, but then it banged, it broke. Okay, for me, this is now a higher low, and potentially price could do this. Okay, but we'll see. If price holds on to this area, yeah, then it might be worth taking shorter, taking lower. Okay, if it holds on to this level. Okay, guys, but for me, H1 structure broke down. I wasn't interested in this pair, and that's the theme across all of these US dollar pairs. So yeah, no trade for me, guys, on the Aussie dollar, US dollar. Next trade was this. This was the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. And again, we were looking to short this pair. The reasons why are this. Price was in a downtrend. Lower lows, lower highs, eventually lower lows, lower highs. Price came down again. We had a bearish candle form, which broke these lows here. Okay, so exactly the same look as the Aussie dollar US dollar. Because of that, we were just trying to take price down further. We had quite a lower, higher time frame target, but nonetheless, this is the reason why we were taking this pair. Okay, and then if you look at H1, this is always our entry. This is always our time frame that tells us what we need to trade. Okay. But again, guys, yeah, so price didn't come up into our grey zone until later on in the day. And then again, you could have got in on this candle. Yeah, I would say sellers are in control. We've had 2 dojis, doji, loads of indecision, and then a full-bodied bearish candle. Okay, this would have been a nice trade, yeah? Enter here, put your stop above here, and take price back down. You would have literally got back down to these last lows and got a very nice risk to reward of, let's say, 1:2. Yeah. Okay, but again, I have to be transparent with you guys. I can't say I traded this and I'm brilliant. I didn't. Okay, I didn't trade this pair, but maybe you did. Please let us know. And I didn't trade this pair because, again, there was a break in H1 structure. So price come down, yeah, created this, okay. But then price broke all of these last areas, these last highs on the H1. And for that reason, I wasn't interested, guys. However, you would have made nice profit on this candle. Okay, so yeah, no trade for me on this one. Last one was this, another US dollar pair. Okay, it was the US dollar Swiss franc. And we were looking to buy this pair for the following reasons. Yeah, so basically price has been in a sideways market. Okay, bouncing off this zone and this zone. It's just been going da, 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 and then it was coming up. Okay, and we had this bullish candle. All right, so yeah, because of those reasons, it's in a sideways market. We had a very bullish candle, and the idea was just to take it back up to this blue line, which corresponded with a target on the weekly chart, which I showed you yesterday. Okay, so let's look at this trade now. Let's look at the H1 to see if we could trade this pair. And again, guys, I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't get into this pair. Yeah, time I'd woke up, it was already, you know, up here. Okay, so I needed price to really, you know, retrace back down to here, and which it did. It did have a retrace. Okay, and then we had, you know, potentially this candle. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, buyers are in control. But yeah, for me, guys, I just didn't trade this pair. This candle wasn't strong enough, and then these candles are just sort of overnight, guys. Okay, I really wanted to see a reaction in this grey zone upwards. I just didn't get that, guys. Okay, so again, I didn't trade this pair either. Okay, but for me, this pair, the H1 structure is still intact. Okay, this US dollar Swiss franc. But yeah, didn't trade it, guys. If you look at the H4 as well, yeah, you've got a lot of, you know, negative selling pressure with these last two H4 candles. All right, so yeah, for me, guys, I sort of stayed out the US dollar pairs, but had a couple of bites at the Canadian dollar Swiss franc, which made me my profit for the day. Okay, so yeah, that's the recap from yesterday, guys. Let's take a look at today's trades now. Another profitable day yesterday on the Canadian dollar Swiss franc, the pair that keeps giving. So yeah, we looked at that in the recap, guys. If you enjoyed the recap, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button. Yeah, come join us. Yeah, subscribe. And also smash the like button, guys. It really helps support the channel. I would appreciate it. Okay, so trades for today, for Wednesday, the 13th of July. There is only one trade that I'm looking at today, guys. And it is this. It is the pound against the Swiss franc. Okay, and I'm looking to buy this pair. Okay, so price was clearly in a downtrend. Yeah, so we had sort of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then a lower low wasn't created. Okay, so this always tells us, is the market trend breaking down? Is the structure breaking down? And the answer is yes. Yeah, because when this last high here is taken out with this very bullish green candle, yeah, the structure has broken. We now have higher highs. Okay, so for me, the structure is in an uptrend now. Okay, and basically, guys, what I'm seeing here, this whole level here is quite an important zone. Yeah, so what was once, yeah, price comes down, what was once resistance comes down, hits it, comes back up, breaks it, and then comes back into this zone, now becomes support. Okay, and price could potentially come higher. This is a very common pattern, guys. Yeah, I know I preach about this pattern a lot, and you're probably like, okay, Tom, we've heard it 1,000 times. But yeah, it's important, guys. Yeah, what was once resistance here, yeah, then becomes good support. We see this time and time again on all the different time frames, guys. Okay, so for that reason, I'm looking to buy this pair. Admittedly, yeah, this candle here is not exactly the most bullish candle you've ever seen, but these wicks on all of these candles, this wick, this wick, this wick, yeah, all of these wicks keep pushing up away from this zone here. Okay, so for those reasons, I can look at buying this market, but the H1 becomes very important in terms of my criteria. Okay, so yeah, let's look at the H1. But before we do, guys, you'll notice I have no grey zones on my chart. All right, so we're going to plot some grey zones today. Because we've only got one pair to look at, I thought, what the heck? Let's look at how we plot the grey zones. And this is how I do it, guys. So I have my idea, and the idea is to go long on this pair, and I've explained why. Your day trend, your day chart is your why, which direction and why. So my direction is buying long, and I've explained why. Okay, now we go down to the H4 chart, and we look at where price has reacted. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, guys, price has reacted here, here, and here. Yeah, price has had a big movement away from this area. Okay, so this will make for quite a large grey zone, but my grey zone would include all of that. Okay, yeah, because you've got this area, and this large wick here. All price could react at all of these levels. Okay, so it does make for quite a large grey zone. So that's 13. Yeah, so it's almost 50 pip grey zone. Okay, but remember, I'm looking at grey zones where I can buy. So I could buy here. I mean, just to show you where another grey zone would be down here, guys. Yeah. Yeah. So price. Yeah, we'll take into account all of these lows. Yeah, this low, this low, this low, this low. So this is clearly an area of support for this pair as well. Okay. But to be honest with you, the lower grey zone is not important to me, because if price breaks out of this grey zone, yeah, then H4 structure has broken down, and H1 structure, no doubt, is broken down. Okay. But that is a grey zone that you could buy from. But for me, guys, I have to decide which grey zones are relevant today. And I wanted to show you this lower grey zone, but it is not relevant. Yeah, so I will remove that. This grey zone is. Okay, so I could buy from this grey zone today. All right, and the higher grey zones, like this, for example, these are your targets. Yeah, so this zone here, yeah, is obviously a place where price reacted. I mean, look at this strong reaction out of that grey zone. But it's not a place I can look for entries, is it? Yeah, it's a target. Okay, so my grey zones like this become targets, but I'm looking for grey zones that I can buy from. Okay, so again, I'll remove this grey zone, and you'll see my blue line is my target. A little bit conservative, just below this 1750 zone. Yeah, this is quite a psychological level. Okay, so we've looked at the H4, what's possible, what our target could be. Okay, so the only grey zone that I think is worthy of being kept is this grey zone, because we could take buys from it. Okay, then from the H4, I go down to the H1. Okay, and I'm looking for the same. I'm looking for, how could I buy this market? Okay, so again, yeah, this grey zone is still fully intact. Yeah, it corresponds with all these lows here. Okay, so yeah, this grey zone is good. All right, now I'm also seeing this grey zone. Okay, so price has been using this, yeah, as an area of support. Sorry, let me do a grey zone, guys, so it keeps it nice and tidy. We like tidy. I haven't got OCD, but maybe I have. I don't know. Anyway, so price, as you can see on the H1, this is quite an important zone. Yeah, so price has been hitting it, bouncing off, hitting it, bouncing off. Been bouncing between these two grey zones. Okay, so how is this hourly grey zone an area to buy? Okay, so let me explain why. So what was once resistance, yeah, here and here, yeah, we break this grey zone, we come back into it, yeah, and now this becomes a good area of support. Okay, I don't mean to keep talking about this pattern, but this pattern is beautiful. Okay, and then we want to see a bullish candlestick pattern, and then we can take price back up to our our higher time frame target. Okay, so for me, guys, these two grey zones, I've looked at the day chart, it's given me my direction, which is buy or long. Then I've looked at the H4 and the H1 to plot my grey zones and to find out what is possible for me to go long. What criteria has to be met for me to enter a long trade. Okay, and that's it, guys. So yeah, just to make it, just go for it one more time. Price could come down into this grey zone. Yeah, then we want to see a bullish candlestick pattern. We enter the trade. We take price back up to these last H1 highs. Remember, that is always our first target. We close 80%, and then we leave 20% to run up to this target. Okay. If that criteria isn't met, then maybe we could do this, guys, which I've just explained. Price breaks this area of resistance, come back, retests it, we get a bullish candle reaction at this area, and then we take price back up to this blue line. Okay. All right, guys, so that's the only trade for today, the pound against the Swiss franc long. I hope that small tutorial has also helped you understand how to plot the grey zones, and only look for the grey zones that are applicable to your trade idea, if it's a buy or a sell. Okay, guys, so yes, let's take a look at the news now. Guys, if you're enjoying this daily morning analysis, I hope you are, then please subscribe to the channel and smash that notification button. That way you'll receive an alert every single day. Won't miss a single one. Right, news for Wednesday, the 13th of July. So overnight, guys, yeah, some big news coming out of the New Zealand dollar. Okay, so yeah, but the interest rate was as expected. Okay, so probably didn't move the New Zealand dollar that much. But that's been and gone. The first pieces of news that we're interested in are these. So at 7 o'clock London GMT, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of news coming out of the UK. So obviously, guys, this can really move the pound. Yeah, there's a lot of news at the same time. So we've got GDP figures, we've got manufacturing production, and more GDP figures. All right, guys, so yeah, all of this, if you're in a pound pair, be aware. All right, if we carry on down, guys, the next piece of news that we're interested in is not until, here, 1:30 London GMT, coming out of the US. We've got CPI figures, guys, yeah, and at the same time, we've got core CPI and CPI. So guys, these are big figures at the moment because inflation is out of control. The cost of living is out of control. Everyone is looking at inflation figures, guys. Yeah, they want them to cool. So yeah, big news for the US dollar, guys. That could really move any US dollar pair. And then the big daddy news today is this. Yeah, so coming out of Canada, we've got the interest rate decision. Okay, and with that comes the monetary policy report and the rate statement. Okay, so big news and quite a jump, guys. That's a 0.75 jump increase on the Canadian dollar. So will be interesting to see how the market reacts to that. But for me, guys, I won't be in any Canadian dollar pairs while that news comes out, because it could rip your face off. Okay, half hour later at 3:30, we've got crude oil inventories. So again, this affects the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. Okay, so must be aware of that coming out. And then finally, guys, we've got at 4 o'clock London GMT, we've got the press conference from the Bank of Canada. Okay, so this will discuss the reasons for their interest rates and lots of questions from the media. Okay, so guys, this can make the Canadian dollar just, if not more volatile than when the actual data is released. Okay, so guys, yeah, this is also a big piece of news to be aware of. Okay, guys, that's the news finished for today. I hope you've enjoyed the vid. If you have, please subscribe, like, and share. I hope you have a great trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys.